right. Okay, we are live. We in the building. We in the building. There we go. What's up? What's up? What's up? How's y'all doing today? What up, fam? What up, fam? All right. What's going on? What's up, people? You watching Who Cloned Tyrone in Belize? Give me 1 second, y'all. All right, my bad, y'all. What's goody? What's goody? What's goody? It's been a minute since I've been on my channel, y'all. I'm sorry, I've been neglecting you. Been on Rich, been on high level conversations, and did a couple interviews on Instagram, some Instagram lives, a lot of events in Atlanta and New York. Yeah, it's been a lot, you know what I mean? I ain't been able to jump on here like I usually do, but I'm on here tonight, so let everybody know I'm about to interview Willie Lynch Junior. And the brother is gonna be coming to the Alkaline Oasis. Big shout out to Mr. G and Alkaline Oasis up in Brooklyn. They've been doing big things. For those that are in Brooklyn, been saying, KT, you got a brick and mortar? Because you hear it all the time. KT, you got a brick and mortar? You got something in New York? Well, I got a spot in New York. My products is in the Alkaline Oasis. So if you want some sea moss, so you want some honey, if you want some duck flower, you know what I'm saying? If you looking for those things, it's in the Alkaline Oasis at 95A Halsey. So make your way and stop playing. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I got the brother in the building. You know what I'm saying? We about to get right to it, So without further ado, I'd like to bring on none other than the brother Willie Lynch Junior. Let's go. There he is.
What up, black man?
Hey, what's going on with you, brother?
Man, I got the worst luck in the world. I'm over here. Like when I did Mr. G podcast, I did everything. I downloaded everything properly.
Right.
For whatever reason, it's not letting me do it on my Mac. So I'm on my phone right now trying to
No,
figure
it's all good. You still on here.
Yeah.
You on here and it's crisp and you clear. You know what I mean? I know how it goes. It happens to me all the time. But what's good, bro?
Hey, look, first of all, bro, I'm a super fan.
Not super fan.
Yeah, dead ass, bro. Like I've been dabbling in this world for some time now.
Okay.
And then I came across your information. And like I take care of my mom and I be trying to get her shit together.
Right.
And like only time she do what she's supposed to if I be like, Mom said KT said this, KT said that.
Ew.
Like, no joke. She love you because she just the way you break stuff down, you know what I mean?
Oh, I appreciate it. Well, tell mama I love her too, man. Not KT said.
Bro, I be lying. I lie on everybody. I be like, Mama, Victor said, or I make up any nigga that says something that she like.
Just so she could get it. Hey, you gotta get it done by any means necessary.
Man, who you tell?
So, you know what I mean? Let the people know who you are. You know what I'm saying? Because, I know you as being a comedian. I know you as being Alkaline. I know you as having, your company, your products, you know what I mean? The things that you do, the people that you help. And I speak all the time on how one of the best ways to heal is through the heart chakra, and the best way to crack that thing open is through laughter. So you figured out a way how to kind of like mix and mingle and merge all of those things together. But we need to get a better understanding of just who you are before we even get into, where you're going to be at, on October 13th. So let's find out more about you, Willie Lynch, especially that name. Especially because you're not just Willie Lynch, but you Willie Lynch Junior. So we need to find out what's popping right there.
Okay, so I'm a comedian, man. I'm a comedian. I'm a trained historian from East St. Louis, Illinois, not Missouri.
Okay.
I was born in St. Louis, Missouri, but I'm from East St. And I went to school to teach history, to learn history, I studied history, and my plan was to be a professor. But I've been dabbling in comedy since I was a kid. And I did it off and on since I was probably 14. And I got serious this last go round after graduate school. And I've been doing this since then. And, initially I was, when I was a kid, when I was doing comedy, I was like just real goofy. So I would talk about just goofy shit. And the older I got and the more conscious I got, I would mix that information in my comedy. Like when I started back in grad school, I'm studying, I'm a Dr. Clark head. Like Dr. Clark is one of my deities. So I'm reading Dr. Clark and Diop and Dr. Ben, and I'm on stage trying to make this shit funny, and it wasn't. And it wasn't until I started studying Paul Mooney that I learned how to make serious stuff funny.
Right.
And, so it was always a mixture of observational. I would do a little political humor. I would talk a lot about history, but just real quick stuff. Throw out a book or two, because niggas, if you just say a book, or quote a Bible scripture, they be like, that nigga's brilliant. Even if you ain't read that motherfucker, they swear to God you're a genius. So once I found out about Sabi, I started to incorporate nutrition into my set. And so I've just been doing that since, man, and it's been working.
Oh man, no. That's interesting right there. That transition you having to study Paul Mooney, because he was a master at being able to get across, thought provoking, eye opening topics, without it being like dull and preachy. You know what I'm saying? It would come off interesting. You thinking at the same time, you'd be laughing all the time. And you have comedians that do that. Not too many of us end up doing. Well, actually, no, I'll take that back. Eddie Griffin does that a lot. Matter of fact, you know what I'm saying? You get that from him. You know what I mean? Dave Chappelle slides things up in there too. But Paul Mooney definitely had a real refined way he went about doing that, So it's interesting because that's how a lot of people actually get into Sabi and get into health, is they usually start off by studying, Dr. Ben, John Henry Clark, Leonard Jeffries, James Smalls, Ivan Van Sertima, and all of that. And then they like, oh man, I got to get my health together. And then they end up finding Sabi, and then they end up going in that direction. So it happened the same way with you. Yeah. Now, what about the name?
Okay, so my real name is Anthony.
Okay.
And when I was my first time on stage at 14, I went by Insane Anthony Collier. And I wasn't original. I thought I was Martin. You know what I mean? I'm out there with these big ass shoes on, this big ass Easter suit. Talking crazy.
Right.
But so I went through a terrible, I don't even want to call it terrible, because if I didn't go through it, I wouldn't be who I am now. But I went through a traumatic experience when I was like 21. Somebody, slipped me something and messed me up pretty bad. And I lost my sense of humor. I lost my ability to just be me. And during that time, I ended up transferring to Fisk in Nashville. And after I came out of that condition, after 2 years of fighting it, I ended up reading a Willie Lynch letter. And at the same time, I was studying history. And I was really into the ancestral world, and just I was into Africa. And I really felt that my goal or my plan or my destiny was to be a historian. And But at the same time, I've come out of this funk now. I come out of this place where I couldn't even talk to now I just want to talk shit, you know. And
Right.
I literally felt like I said, I want to do comedy again. And I was literally working at a plantation in Nashville, bro. And
What?
yeah, I told Mr. G he didn't believe it. Matter of fact, today is August the 11th. August the 8th made it. I got fired from that plantation 15 years ago. On
What
August,
what was on this plantation?
it was Bell Mead Plantation. It used to be a horse plantation. And I got the job because I had gone there with my girlfriend at the time. And just to visit, because I said, I've been in Nashville all these years and I've never visited a slave plantation. And so I went down there and I noticed that they never mentioned the slaves. They would always kind of ignore that slavery even existed. And so I remember asking this old man at the in the gift shop if they were hiring, and he told me that they were. And I was like, so I filled out the application, got a job, and I was a tour guide, and that was one of the ways that I was honing in on my stand up. But yeah, it was crazy because I got fired from that motherfucker. But I'm a radical, bro. Like I was in grad school, G, and I was like what I learned is that white folks from Europe and from the North, like Canada more specifically, but even just the northern United States, when they visited plantations, they literally wanted to hear about the slaves, especially if a black man was telling the story. But there were really no black people ever telling those stories, and if they were telling them, they were shucking and jiving. But people from the South, they just wanted to hear about how beautiful the house was, how it was built, and they wanted to hear everything but about the Negro. And so I would on my tours, I would take them throughout the house, and I would mix scholarship with comedy. And I would have them white folks literally in one instance about to cry when I got to the office of the plantation owner, and I would show it'd be a branding iron. They say, "Oh, that's for the horses." And me being provocative, I'm like, "No, they branded the slaves with that motherfucker." And they like, "What?" And I just started breaking down what they was doing and everything. And then like right after their mouths were wide open, like, "Oh my God." Then I would say something about midgets, like out of nowhere, bro.
No, not just throw the midgets in the mix.
Man, and then them folks, we about to cry, and then now they laughing, and now they crying laughing. And so I would get standing ovations, and I would get tips and stuff. And like the people loved me, but it was the people who ran the plantation. Like nigga, after my first couple months, they was trying to give me jobs at other places that wasn't even open yet. They was like, "Hey, a museum gonna open in DC in 10 years. You gotta go apply right now." And so
Put in a
eventually,
good word for you.
man, they were trying to get me up out of there. But eventually, they let me go after about a year and a half. But so when I was working there, I read the Willie Lynch letter.
Mm-hmm.
It blew my mind, and I'm like, bro, this was written in 1712, and it seems as though this is what's really going on in the year 2007.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I'm gonna start doing comedy again. And I said I'm gonna use this. This is gonna be my name. So I really got into it when I got on Twitter, and I was trying to use the name Willie Lynch, and they somebody already took it, so I used Willie Lynch Junior. Then it was so catchy because when I first started, if you could look at some of my old stuff on YouTube, the way I would introduce myself on stage, I would say my name is Willie Lynch Junior. Bounce when you say the Junior. I used to always say my name. I was known around the country for that shit. Like when Kevin Hart met me, he called me Langston Hughes with a punchline.
No.
And when he said my name, he did the Junior. He was bouncing. So, but that's where the name came from. And I was trying to be provocative. I was trying to teach black folks who had no idea about Willie Lynch, the letter. I was like, if I make it big enough, when they see my name, they'll look up the Willie Lynch letter, and then maybe they can get some type of consciousness.
That's right.
Because actually, I literally felt the ancestors told me that if only way that they would sanction my doing comedy is if I were to teach the audience about them through my stand-up. That's the biggest reason why I chose that name.
Oh, no, that's strong right there. And that's what you've been doing. And that's what you've been doing. But when I hear the junior is the punchline. the Junior is the punchline because Willie Lynch is gonna hit you and take you to a certain place. But when you say Junior, you like, wait, what?
This nigga got kids.
You know what I'm saying? What you talking about, man? What is this? Like a baby letter? What is this? I gotta get it. But nah, so Willie Lynch Jr. is your name. Bringing comedy out of history and knowledge and science is the game. And then you said you started getting into nutrition and health, and you found out about Dr. Sebi. So you was like, okay, now I want to incorporate health into the narrative. So how did that happen?
So I was considered Afrocentric when I was at Fisk. And I used to wear, the red, black, and green wristband. I was just out for Africa.
Right.
This girl that I knew from childhood, I had become a vegan. Or even before that, I had started reading Dr. Africa when I was in grad school.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed that a lot of Afrocentric brothers on campus were vegetarians or vegans.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was a little too extreme for me. I said, no, nigga, I love rib tips. I love pig knuckles. I love all that.
Not the red, black, and green with the pig knuckles, though.
Nigga, we call them snoots. In East St. Louis, we call them snoots. That's pig knuckles.
Wait, what y'all call them?
Snoots.
Snoots?
Yeah, a snoot.
Oh, not a snoot. Okay, not
Bro,
snoots.
I used to love that shit. And so what happened was I started reading Dr. Africa's African Holistic Health.
Mm-hmm.
Started learning about white sugar and white rice and all this and
white flour, right?
Yeah,
all the powders.
Yeah, so I got conscious of that, and then I also read in his book that black men were getting prostate cancer and colon cancer. So I said, you know what? By the time I turn 30, I'm gonna stop eating beef and pork. And what happened was I graduated from school and I moved back home, and I was gonna just be home for a year before I started the PhD program. And I went to the St. Louis Cardinals baseball game, and I ate some loaded nachos with my cousin, and I got sick as a dog.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, I'm gonna go on a fast from beef and pork for 2 years. I mean, for 2 weeks. No, for 30 days. But I said, I got at least 3 more years and I can still be eating because I'm 27. So I was like, I ain't got to give it up, but I'm gonna fast from it.
Right.
And after about 2 weeks, bro, I was like, nigga, I'll never eat that shit again.
Because of how you felt.
Yeah, and that was 2009. And then to fast forward, I have some type of consciousness. And I ended up, when my aunt died, her birthday is August the 16th. She died on her 65th birthday of pancreatic cancer. She was getting surgery and she died. And I had already been flirting with the idea of being a vegan. And I was doing like a CrossFit type of workout training or whatever. And my trainer is this white dude. He a Marine. And he cold as a motherfucker in the gym. And he told me that I needed meat. And if I stopped eating meat, I wasn't gonna be able to pick up, I was deadlifting like 450 pounds, bro. And he's like, you ain't gonna be able to do none of that. You're gonna get titties, all type of shit gonna be wrong with you, nigga. And the fact that he was white, I'm like, nah, bro, you can't know more about my health than I do.
Right.
And so I couldn't argue with him. And like, I have an ego, a very big ego. And my ego won't allow me to talk about something that I don't know nothing about because I don't like getting embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
So I started studying just so I could literally prove him that I was, that I didn't need meat. And I read a book called, I think it was Vegan Soul Food.
Mm-hmm.
I was into the tofu. I was eating all that shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking I'm nigga on point.
Mm-hmm.
My homegirl was like, hey, this man named Dr. Sebi. He said that shit that you just posted on Instagram ain't even food, nigga.
You're like, hold up, man. Like every time I learn something that's like one of y'all telling me what I ain't supposed to do, man, I got this now. I got it.
Yeah, and I snapped on it and I said, look, I'm listening to Dr. Africa. I said, Dr. Sebi ain't got no damn books. I don't know that nigga. That's exactly what I told her. And she sent me a video of Sebi in Philadelphia. It was called How to Eat to Live, Not to Die.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm practical. So I'm listening to him talk and I'm completely blown away. And so I got on that journey at that time. This was August of 2000. No, by September 2000. And,
about to say, yo, these Augusts be lit for you, bro.
Black August, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
August is everything, man.
That's them dog days of summer, right? That Sirius be hitting you for real.
That's Ogun, bro.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh,
And
man.
as you know, that was the name of Sabi's company, right?
So just to show you how the ancestors be fucking with your boy, right? I lost my job after I started doing comedy in 2009. Moved to Chicago, lost my job at this online college.
Mm-hmm.
I come home to East St. Louis to put on a show because I got to pay this rent, nigga. And I come home, I get in a bad car accident. And some random dude just pulled up to the side of me and asked me if I was okay. And he just so happened to be Yoruba. And then one of my closest friends is Yoruba. And then like when my cousin died, I'm in Jamaica performing, sitting there, in this pool crying because this nigga just died.
Mm.
A boat comes up and it says Shango. And
Mm.
the nigga I'm buying weed brownies from named Shango. Like none of this was making it. It was just like crazy.
Right, lining up.
When I started studying Sabi, and I found out Sabi's, his original business was called the Ogun Institute of Research.
Institute. Mm-hmm.
I'm like, it's like it was all of that was just pulling together for me. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, the universe is always gonna show the signs. That's how you know you're moving in the right direction. If there ain't no signs, you're not gonna know you're walking in the right direction.
Facts.
Okay. Yeah. Somebody in the chat said they used to have that vegan soul food book.
Yeah, that shit. I was eating that tofu, nigga. All this hair I got here,
Mm-hmm.
I was starting to look like George Jefferson, right? All in this.
Ooh, yeah. You can't take the tofu away from some of these vegans, man. The nooch, the tofu, the soy, they starched out the cassava, the tapioca, and they love it. They
It was
love it.
it was messing me up, and I wasn't saying it because I became a Sabi disciple. Like I remember what was going wrong with me. You know what I'm saying? Like you got some people that become like get into a cult. If he said it, I wasn't doing it. I'm like, bro, I was eating that, and I knew I couldn't take a shit like I was supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like I said, my hair was falling out.
Mm. It's
So
growing now.
oh man, like, but before, because I use Botana.
Mm-hmm.
But before Botana, what made my hair grow is I was living in Harlem, man, and all this was falling out, and I started using African black soap, and I was washing my hair with it, and it literally made my hair grow back. All of this that was falling out, it came back.
Yeah, that black soap ain't no joke. That's my go-to for sure. And I hear people that say they that it don't work well for them, and I'd be like, how? Like,
Man,
ain't nothing making you smell more fresh and more clean, squeaky clean than that black soap. And not them bars. No, that raw black soap. Look like chocolate candy bars or something with nougat all in it. Like, you gotta get that, because when you smell it, it smells like you when you're clean. Like, that's what the bars smell like. But all right, so we got the name, we got the transition into all of that. Now let's talk about something happened where you were so inspired, not just in incorporating it into the comedy, but to start helping people as well, because you have a company. Is that correct?
yeah. So when I was in New York, I was having ups and downs. A lot of more ups than I realized. I played the Apollo, got discovered by Cat Williams, and he asked me to write for him.
Nice.
Did a late night TV show in New York. Like then my son was on the way. So some stuff was going great for me. But
that sounds amazing.
Oh,
Sound like it was going real good for you.
But nigga, I was broke as that thing.
Woo. Yeah, I mean, when we're in our most creative positions, and the most demanding positions, we usually don't have as many funds, because if we did, usually that takes away from the creativity, the hunger, and the drive. Those things those things are still in that position to kind of fuel you, that pressure, that stress. You know what I'm saying? But then you still have the opportunity. So you have somewhere to kind of focus all that energy and that stress in, so that you can be successful. When you look at a lot of the hip hop artists, even athletes, you know what I mean? Once they get a certain amount of money, a certain amount of recognition, a certain amount of funds, you look at how they rapped and how they was dropping them bars 10 years ago versus now, and you like, yeah, you comfortable. You know what I'm saying?
I was living on the couch, and the crazy part, bro, is where I was living was above Dr. Ben's old office and
Okay.
across the street from where Red Fox and Malcolm X used to work.
All right.
Yeah, but
Around all the energy.
man, so what happened? And Dave Chappelle's uncle or his cousin was my dentist. But what happened was my best friend would see me posting, a bunch of basically memes that I was stealing out of these Dr. Sabi groups. That's how a lot of niggas start. They posting memes like, see, nigga, this is science right here. And we can't break none of this shit down, but we posting it out. And so he would see my post and he said, bro, you ought to start doing some type of meal planning for people. He said, because this is a dude back here at the crib and he's doing it and he's helping people, but he still got them eating meat and all that type of stuff. And he said, you smart, man. You ought to, I think you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm in shape. So when you see somebody that's cut up, people gonna listen to him. So I'm like, you know what? They already respect me as an intellectual on the history tip. So I started talking. I was one of the first people that was pushing Sabi before a lot of people knew about him,
Mm-hmm.
And so I would always tell people starting 2013. And I started, again, I was just posting a lot of his information. And I started doing meal plans for people. That's how I started. And then, so a lot of people were coming to me with different conditions. And, all I'm doing is telling them to eat the foods that Sabi told us to eat. And I said, man, you should be able to reverse any condition. This is what I'm thinking. But I'm getting people that had, major condition, major maladies, and some of it wasn't working. And I said, man, I got to learn these herbs now. And so that was in 2016. And I've been studying my ass off since then. And I started a company. Like I reluctantly did it because I was such a Sabiite that I would think that starting a company, number one, I didn't know what I was doing. Then I said, well, I don't want to sell no herbs. I want to push everybody to his company in LA.
Mm-hmm.
But I would literally recommend, I would recommend a diet for people. And then I would tell them where to go buy herbs. And then people kept saying, man, if you had them, I would buy them from you.
Right.
And I was scared to do it. Number one, I'm on some high shit. So I'm like, man, these folks gonna kill me too.
You know it.
Yeah, I was annoyed. Then at the same time, I just thought I shouldn't be doing it. And it was literally, I felt like I was pushed to do it. And I started my company. And I've been doing pretty well, man. I've been able to help some people. And it's a blessing, man. Like it can be overwhelming.
And the name of the company?
It's Ohsane Botanicals.
All right, now that's a powerful name right there.
Yes, sir.
That's a powerful name. You care to share who Ohsane is?
Okay, Ohsane is one of the Orishas in the Yoruba pantheon. And Ohsane is the Orisha of the herbs. He's the Orisha of the plants, of the healing. One of the ancient Pataki in Ifa, and I learned this from the Cubans when I was in Cuba, is that Orunmila, who's like a Jesus kind of figure in Ifa, the prophet or the one who knows all the Orisha of wisdom. And this Pataki, Ohsane was his little brother, and he told him, he said, man, go outside and pull up them weeds, clean his yard up. And Ohsane started crying. And he said, man, what the hell wrong with you? He said, man, all them things you call weeds, he said, man, they heal people. He said, this plant does this plant will cure this plant will do that. And Ohsane is someone I resonate with, or entity that I resonate with, because again, he's the entity of healing. So I'm a Pan-Africanist, man. So I wanted to connect. That's another thing about Sabi, man, that I fell in love with, was he was a Pan-Africanist. And, I love Du Bois, I love Garvey. And, Sabi connected all of us. And so I used I wanted to name my company after the ancients.
Got you. So it's OhsaneBotanicals.com?
Yes, sir.
Let's see. Right there. Is that it?
You missed the L. I mean, you missed the S. Ohsane's.
Oh, okay. Got you. Let's Hence, it's a S after the N. Boom.
Yeah. Ohsane. The man with one eye and one.
Yeah, doesn't he have like a little arm?
Yeah, it depends on you know where you're hearing it from, but in Cuba, like I went to the Yoruba Museum of History or the museum, Yoruba Culture Museum. So this is, you know, they have all the Orishas everywhere, and like this is a sacred place.
Mm-hmm.
Ohsane, he has like one eye, he's holding something in his hand, and he got one arm and one leg. And the story about that, well, one of them is that he was in love with Oya. And
Oh,
yeah,
good
he was.
luck. Good luck messing with the whirlwind.
He was in love with her, so he asked her to come to the forest with him one evening.
Mm-hmm.
So he needed some help, so she obliged, and she said okay. So she's following him, and he's on his magic carpet, and he's flying, and she's behind him on on the wind.
Mm-hmm.
And they said every time he turned around and looked at her, he fell deeply in love with her more and more.
I just gotta pause you right there. You say he was on the magic carpet and she was behind him on the wind. Like, can you just imagine that visual right there? Floating through the forest on the magic carpet, and you look behind you, and there's a beautiful bad one on the wind just following you. Yeah, I'd be falling in love too.
Man. But he turns around, and every time he looks at her, he falls in love. So the last time he turned around, he just jumped on her. And at this time, Shango is looking for her. And so she hollers out, and Shango ends up seeing him, and he hits Ohsane with a lightning bolt. And that's how he got messed up. So that's for the one eye and the one leg.
Shango be 10 folks up, bruh.
Man.
Why he be banging like that, man? Why he be going hard on everybody like that? Shango be going off. And I'm like, yo, he up here giving everybody the herbs, healing everybody. He only doing what he need to do. What you banging on him for, man?
Because that was his old lady.
What's that? Say that again.
Cause y'all was his old lady. He said, I gotta get it.
Yeah. He was getting fresh. But I'm saying, y'all was following him on the window. That was her doing all that. But now I get it. But now, everybody, this is the website right below. All right, OhsaneBotanicals.com. Okay, this is where they're gonna find some name some of the wonderful products that you got over there, brother.
So one of my favorite products is jungle spinach.
Jungle spinach.
Yeah.
We talking about West Indian Popeye up in here. What you got, huh?
So this one again for me, I was like trying to be like Kobe when Kobe was mimicking Mike.
Okay.
I was literally like, well, what does Sabi offer, and why does he offer it? Because again, another thing about me is I was a chess player, nationally, ranked, and I played as a kid. And I remember when I got back into chess seriously when I was in college, even though I was flunking out of school, but I started back playing chess. And one of the things that I did that got me so good was I started studying Boris Spassky and Bobby Fischer in the World Championships in 1972 in Reykjavik, Iceland.
Wow. Okay.
And studying their games, every game that they played, and I'm sitting there trying to figure out why were they making these moves. So I started to be able to play like Bobby Fischer after a while because I was literally mimicking what he was doing. So I was trying to do the same with Sabi. And so I wasn't just trying to reproduce his products. I was trying to figure out why did he make these products.
Exactly.
I listened to what he talked about his green food. So jungle spinach is my green food.
Okay.
And it is really good because of provides chlorophyll.
Right.
But one of the number one things that's one of the herbs that's in it provides an appetite suppressant, and that's hoodia.
Got some hootie up in there, and that's the Namibians use that a lot out there in the desert, right?
Yeah, hoodia cortina, as well as nopales, dandelion, but it's a great source of chlorophyll, and it's an appetite suppressant. And I named it spinach because we grew up in the 80s, nigga. Popeye.
Yeah. I'm just saying, if anybody be like, yo, you need more greens, that's number one. Collards is usually the second.
Yeah.
Unless you in the community, then the number one green is always kale.
Now for me, only time I would eat kale, I was at a restaurant and I ain't had no choice. But like because when I watch your videos, you would always say something. Then you'd be like, "Well, if any Sabiites in here, forgive me."
Yeah, you gotta say that, man. Them Sabians ain't no joke, bro. They
So
ain't no joke.
I eat arugula instead of kale, but my number one green to eat is callaloo.
Oh yeah, callaloo's where it's at. I can't just eat callaloo. I have to actually make callaloo, and specifically the Trinidadian version, the stew. I gotta like, if I get some, I'll be like, I'm gonna just saute it. I'm gonna keep it simple, and then I'll open up the fridge and there'd be okra there, and I'll have coconut milk, and I'll be like, just gonna make some callaloo, dog. I end up making the whole thing.
Yeah, but that's one of the products, and then I also have one. I have my iron. It's called Ogun.
Okay, obviously. What else would you name it?
So that is really good for the blood.
Is it liquid or powder?
I have a liquid and I have a tonic capsule.
Got tonic and capsule option. Okay, great, 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 great. So we got the jungle spinach, we got the Ogun for that iron. What else we got?
We have Shango, which is the Jagun Jagun. That's the warrior. That's for
the
testosterone.
Right. That's for that 12 o'clock.
Yeah. So matter of fact, that's 12 o'clock in there. That Shea Mamaka.
Hey.
I learned about Shea Mamaka, and Shango taught me about Shea Mamaka. No joke.
Okay.
The dude named Shango, who had a red and white hat in Jamaica, who had the boat, and he was selling us weed. He taught me about Shea Mamaka, which is
Did he call his weed Shango?
No.
Okay. He was like this right here.
But the Shea Mamaka, that's the Mimosa Paducah.
Yeah, of course. You already know it has all the lightning in there because it has all of the potassium complexes in there, and it has dopamine, which a lot of people don't know. Dopamine, tyrosine, and all of these potassium complexes.
So that's in there. And then I learned of a herb or a tree which is called catuaba.
Oh yes, catuaba.
Yeah, in Brazil, they say a man before the age of 60, all of his children belong to him. But after that, they belong to catuaba. So that has yohimbine in it. So it's related to, I believe, and you could tell me more, but it's related to yohimbe. But then also one of my main ingredients in that one is the conconsa.
Conconsa.
Yeah, from Ghana. I learned about that from Say.
Yeah. Okay, we lost him for a sec. Okay, there you go. You went out for a hot second.
Yeah, I'm on this phone because I couldn't get the internet in the computer. But yeah, the conconsa. So really good for the prostate. And then for the sisters, I have the Oshun.
Nice.
So the featured lead herb in there is Damiana.
Okay.
And then I have my not jungle spinach, the vibranium. Vibranium is a compound that I made. I have a liquid as well as a tonic, as well as the capsule. But I made that one specifically for the brain and the nervous system.
Nice. Vibranium for the nervous system. Yeah, that'll have you right.
I have King Kelly Ba, the bark of King Kelly Ba.
King Kelly Ba.
Thea. They call it. So I learned. Remember, Sabi talked about how he gave that one to Michael Jackson's son, and he inhaled it. So I'm tripping because I'm thinking Sabi was wrong. I'm like, bro, all the King Kelly Ba I get when I'm in Harlem, it's green. It's the leaf. What are you talking about?
Right.
So my partner in Ghana, he was telling me, he said, "Oh, we use the bark." And he started telling me. He literally was telling me everything that Sabi was saying, but didn't know it. He was like, "We use it for the brain,
right,
and the bowel." So I have that, as well as Kalawala is in there. Kalawala is one of my favorite.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a go-to. Matter of fact, do I have? Yeah, I got a little bit right there.
Yeah, they call it Somon Bahia in Brazil.
Somon Bahia.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, now you not only got products, you got some of the ancient, powerful, potent, uncompromised super herbs. You know what I'm saying? And if you're gonna name your company Ohsane Botanicals, you can't play using that name at all. Anytime you use any of these names, you got to come correct because they demand it, and if not, you're gonna feel that pressure. So You know what I mean? I feel that, you know, through all of these compounds that you just spoke of, those are some powerful mixtures right there. So, you know, if y'all listening, you know, go to the brother's site, check him out, see what he has to offer, order some of these products, you know, for you and yours, because one thing we know in our community is we all need help with our health. I can't do it all. Victor could damn near do it all. I ain't even going front.
Oh,
Victor just might be able to do it all, but you know what I'm saying? We all out here, you know what I mean, doing this work. All of us health practitioners, we deep out here in the community. But you know, we can't do it alone. We are all part of a bigger network. So we have, you know, another partner in arms here doing the great work. Make sure that you support them, you know. So we've been walking a path this whole time, step by step, getting to know Willie Lynch Junior. All right. And now, you know, we're getting to the part where you have something coming up in October. You know what I'm saying? Why don't you tell us about that?
Okay, so I'm going to be performing at Alkaline Oasis, which is you know, the spot KT mentioned earlier. Now I initially supposed to have been there 2 weeks ago, but we had to reschedule. Now I've been saying I was going to put out a comedy album and a comedy special for the longest, and for whatever reason, everything kept getting pushed back.
Right.
So it would always come up, and so Mr. G invited me out, and then I said, you know, let's make this my special. So you're gonna get to see the only Negro in the game that's gonna sit on the stool and spit comedy. I mean, punchlines rapidly.
Oh, you ain't doing a stand up. You doing a sit down.
Oh yeah, I sit down, bro.
Okay, you in the stool. You stooling on.
Yeah. So if you see me standing up, that's only because I must have been hosting.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. No, I feel you. But you saying you usually sit down on the stool. That's
yeah.
that's that Cosby style.
Yeah.
And didn't Red Fox did that sometimes too?
No, Red Fox was he stood up.
He stood up all the time. Who else
Yeah.
am I thinking that sat down then? Other
Paul
than
Mooney.
Paul. Oh, okay. Paul Mooney and Bill Cosby. Okay.
And
Yeah.
Dick Gregory did after a while.
Got you. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Dick Gregory did near the end. Yes, he sure did when he got older.
Yeah.
All right. So continue. I didn't mean to interrupt. But you say you're doing this special.
So we're gonna make this my special. And it's just gonna be an amazing event. So I'll have my products. I promise you I'm one of the funniest niggas you ever. I ain't look.
That's big talk.
Look, I'm telling you, bro. I'm not regular on that stage, G. Like I'm one of the coldest that has ever lived, G. And
Okay.
I'm not exaggerating. And I'm not y'all gotta come see me, G. Like this is comedy G, like you've never seen it. Like I've been accused of being a friendlier Paul Mooney. I look and sound like Eddie Murphy. I have the comparison with Chappelle, and this is not my trying to be like Chappelle, but we have a similar kind of bent, a similar perspective. Okay. So, and then I'm a maverick. So I talk about things that other comedians, all my contemporaries, are scared to talk about, and all of it is funny. I don't give a fuck who you are. Your ass gonna laugh, and you gonna learn, nigga.
You're gonna laugh and you're gonna learn. Oh no, that's what's up. I'm looking forward to it. So what's the date?
It is Friday the 13th, October the 13th.
Ooh, hold on. So it's Friday the 13th and it's in October.
Yes, sir.
Ah, man. Okay, so you got some alignment going on right there. I wonder what the moon's gonna be in that day. That's interesting right there. All right, so we got you October 13th, Alkaline Oasis, 958 Halsey Street. What time does the event start?
I believe we're starting at 8.
At 8 o'clock. And hold on. Let's do this. Let me see. Boom. Yeah. There we go. And let me hold on 1 second. Take that out. But yeah, there you go. There you go. So Friday, October 13th, 2023, doors opening at 8 p.m. Get ready, get ready. Willie Lynch Junior is gonna be up in the building. He says he is the funniest in the game. Ain't nobody messing with him. He is the best kept secret. Come through, and the Alkaline Oasis. And have you been there yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, yeah, because it's one thing to see, the pictures and the clips and stuff online and everything, but you gotta go in there and just feel the energy and the vibe and everything. It's a beautiful space. You're gonna love it. And the thing about you is, as you've been explaining to everybody during this whole discussion, is how much energy plays a huge role in everything you do. So you're going to recognize that there's nothing but supportive energy that's in that space, and whatever you're doing is going to give you a great platform in order to do it. So I look forward to seeing you rock and get down. You know what I'm saying? I love to laugh. You know what I mean? One thing about me, if you've been watching my videos, I'm not no strict stern presenter. I'll be cracking jokes, tripping, laughing the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Because how else are you gonna stay young? How else are you gonna stay healthy? If you're not light about it. We talk about light all the time, but light doesn't just mean like you turning on a light and illumination. It also deals with the opposite of being heavy, keeping things light. You know what I mean? They're one and the same. So I like to do that, because when you do that, people are more apt to receive. You know what I mean? They could digest a lot more. You eat things that are heavy, like that tofu and that snoop. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be real heavy on the digestive system, But if you juice it, you eating them greens, you eating a cup of fruit and things like that. That's a lot lighter. It's gonna be easier for you to digest and process. So, you know what I mean? Yeah, I appreciate the fact that you are not only part of the whole comedy community, which is very necessary. I'm looking forward to more films and more things with us in it, because there's just like there's a drought right now. I remember we used to have movies coming out all the time, black comedies, but just keeping this flame going in the community, and then also bringing the health edge, because when you deal with comedians, like the Alabama thing just happened, right? So we got that's gonna be everybody's topic, obviously. Over the next 2 months, that's gonna be everybody's material. So you find these situations where in comedy we all touch on the same topic. So to have your own lane that you could really flesh out, you know what I mean? That's gonna always set you apart from what everybody else is doing. And we know the world, especially our community, our people rather, is moving more in the direction of health as well. So you're ahead of the curve in dealing with all of this. You know what I'm saying? So, I want to tip my fro to you on that, brother.
Yeah, man, it's been a blessing, because again, like you said, a lot of comedians, man, like they're not original, so everybody's talking about the same thing. You know what I mean? And to be able to come from a whole nother perspective, like my stuff was already left field because I've been ignorant, but now, like nigga, I'm sitting on stage talking about blue vervain, nigga. Woo.
Come on with it, then. We need that in our life. We need that in that. So all y'all Sabians, all y'all vegans, vegetarians, pescatarians, health practitioners, yogis, you know what I'm saying, the spiritualists, in psychonauts, you know what I'm saying, anybody and everybody dealing with health, wellness, and the like. And those of y'all that just want to laugh, y'all need to come through and definitely support this brother and support the Alkaline Oasis, support Mr. G, and come through October 13th. So you could do what? So you can let go, let loose, and just laugh for a change. You know what I'm saying? You say KT, what do I do for high blood? Laugh. What do I do for inflammation? Laugh some more. Man, I'm so anxious, man. What do I? Laugh again. Like, let it out and find out just how healing something as simple as laughter will be for you.
like nigga without laughter, bro. Like honestly, the fact that I'm a historian and I know a bunch of stuff that most people don't want to know. If I couldn't laugh, nigga, I'd have been went crazy.
Exactly.
Like
I
nigga,
know the feeling. I know the feeling. And that's something that Sabi did all the time. He would laugh. He would break the silence for 20 square miles around him, letting out that bellow. You know what I'm saying? And his laughter was infectious. You was not gonna be sitting there with stink face when Sabi was laughing. You know what I'm saying? So he even did that, and part of why he was so successful in helping people heal themselves was because he was able to imbue his energy and everything that he provided to the people. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you're going to be doing. This is a sacrifice that this brother's going to be making. He's going to be spreading and sharing his energy with the community, so those that need energy, those that are anxious or depressed or sad or hurt or confused or just want to get out and laugh for a little bit, this is the place for you. I tell you to come on through and heal, Yeah,
best,
we offer all types of healing modalities over here, baby.
man.
But yeah, man. But nah, so in closing, is there anything you want to leave the people with? I'm gonna put your website back up real quick. Any closing remarks, brother?
Yeah, man. First of all, thank you for having me, brother. And
Come on, man.
Yeah, man, like you said, bring y'all ass October 13th. Like,
there you go.
let's back out, man, so we can do 2 shows. Because when somebody doing a comedy special, you usually don't just want to do 1 show.
Mm-hmm.
So,
You want to double it up?
Yeah, man, just in case nigga miss something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah, it's gonna be an amazing event. Y'all need to be there, and if you can't be there, hey, your ugly ass relatives, somebody because somebody needs these laughs, because somebody fucked up. Nigga through it. It's a nigga that got a baby hand, and he been trying to hide that motherfucker.
Not the baby. Hey, chill.
The little nub with them pinky toes. Them niggas is stressed out, and they want to nigga get them out the house. Nigga,
Get him out the house. Just have him tuck it in the long sleeve and cover it up, and just bring him on outside.
Nigga put in the Crown Royal bag or catches me. Nigga,
Not
just had that nigga in there so he can laugh about them little toes.
Yeah, not the Crown Royal bag. Lord,
yeah.
That's nice though. It's nice and velvety and purple. Yeah. That thing good.
But yeah, man. Hit the website, grab some things. You know what I'm saying? I just got some Cheney root from Jamaica.
Ooh, nice.
Bro, when I found it again, I'm gonna say this and not going for a tangent, then we can ride. It's like for me studying Sabi, it's like when I studied the world on my own, it just so happened that the stuff that I'm learning corroborated what he was saying.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I read a paper about the history of the China root and how one of the main, medicines that was, part of international commerce starting in the 16th century.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reading about because that's from what I'm understanding, like they call it Cheney root in Jamaica because that is a corruption of the word China root.
Right.
And they were saying that they were using it to heal themselves of syphilis and other conditions. And when they started coming westward to the Americas, they were looking for a close relative of the Cheney root because they didn't think they were going to be able to find it.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that they found was sarsaparilla.
Parilla, right? And Coco Mecca.
Yeah. What it says in this paper was that sarsaparilla had more heat than the Cheney root.
Mm-hmm.
And I was taking that to mean that it had more iron because I would think that
Yeah. That's what the heat. That's what the hot is all about. The fire, the being a blacksmith. You know what I mean? That iron, exactly. And Sabe used to say it all the time when he would talk about sarsaparilla. He would like not the Indian sarsaparilla, the Jamaican sarsaparilla. There was a difference.
And he said that the Honduran sarsaparilla was one of the best too. This Honduran sarsaparilla.
That's it right there with the spikes on it.
Yeah, that shit hurt, nigga.
Mm-hmm. With them spikes. Yeah, that thing ain't no joke.
But so and lastly, well not lastly, but Coco Mecca and Cheney root, same thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I know the one in
Cucameca is a little stronger though.
really.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the Cheney root is Smilax balbisiana.
Mm-hmm.
The cocoa mecca that I have is Smilax cordifolia. So clearly they're different, but
Yeah.
cocoa stronger. Okay.
Yes, it is. Makes a darker red. Views a darker red as
Okay.
well when you brew it.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that Cucameca ain't no joke.
Yeah.
And then another way, you know, make some tea for you and your woman. You'll
Oh,
find out which one's stronger.
that's how my second baby got here. Look, I heard him soon I popped off. I heard Daddy. I said, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, chill. No, he called from the other side on you, like I'm coming.
I said, it's gonna be a boy. She said, what the hell you talking about? I said, I heard his ass. Nigga.
Lord have mercy. Now he called from the other side. But nah, brother, I want to thank you for making the time to come on the platform tonight, so you was able to talk to the people, let them know who you are, tell them about your journey. That's a powerful journey that you expressed, and I know that was a super abbreviated, summarized. That's like the back of the book synopsis you gave us right there, because I know your life is full of some real interesting chapters. So you know, I look forward to having you back on again, but more than that, I look forward to seeing you on October 13th. You know, so one more time for the people in the back, go on and support this brother at OhsaneBotanicals.com. That's where you're gonna find those Zenzu Bean, Dragon Ball Z, Super Saiyan, super powered herb formulations that this brother has put together based on studying the late great Baba Dr. Sabi. So support him there, and then come out and check him out at the Alkaline Oasis on October 13th. Boom. Right there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, man, we'll have you back on soon, but I'll be seeing you in October.
All right, bro. Not if I see you first, man. Peace.
Yeah, I go.
Yeah.
All right then, brother.
Peace.
Peace and love. Yes, and that was Willie Lynch Junior up in the building. Oh man, he great story, great information. And I look forward to hold on one second, y'all. My bad. And I look forward to seeing this comedy special. I'm ready to laugh. Somebody in the chat said, "Is he gonna do jokes?" Okay, you know he gonna. You already know you gonna clown. He gonna clown on everybody in there. He gonna clown on me. He gonna clown on Mr. G. I already know he gonna be clowning. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I appreciate the brother stopping through and sharing his story with us. His information with us. I look forward to seeing what he has in store. And I want to thank all of y'all for tuning in. I know it's been a grip since I've been on here. And I need to come back on here and do a couple more presentations. I just did the They Clone Tyrone Decoded at Black Dot. We filmed the whole thing. So I'm definitely going to put some of it on here, but the whole full video is going to be on Patreon, because you know, I gotta give my Patreon followers some good content. I can't give y'all everything. I'll be giving y'all 3-hour videos and all that type of stuff, you know. But yeah, man, I'll be seeing all of y'all soon. Love and light. I appreciate it. Peace.